Hi, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Добрый день.
Добрый день.
Thanks for joining us. Okay, let's get to this. Now, you guys, Dennis, have had a pretty amazing run so far. You have gone from being a bootstrap startup to 100 million downloads of your apps.
Yeah.
That's a big, big deal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, it hasn't always been easy. You've had, in your time, you guys have had 32 failures. Can you give us the short version, very quickly, on how you guys went from 0 to hero?
Sure. So I think it's about timing. So back in 2007, when the iPhone was launched for the first time, there was no App Store, no apps. So there was no way to read stuff on your iPhone. And we fixed that. We made a service. That's why the company name is Readdle from Read. Quickly got 60,000 users, still not making money. And then we got a call from Apple, and they said, hey guys, we're launching App Store. Here's, if you want to be featured on the first day of the App Store, make an app, here's deadline.
Yeah.
So here's how it started.
So an early mover advantage.
Yes.
Okay, but like everyone wants to get Apple's attention. They've been a big deal when they were doing the iPhone and the App Store. Everyone wanted a piece of Apple. How did you guys manage to catch their attention and get to talk to them?
So I guess it's about the product. And as I mentioned, we got 60,000 users of our product early on. And then it certainly caught their attention. And they even put a link on their website on apple.com to use Readdle as a service if you want to read a book or a paper.
Right.
So they kind of knew us from the beginning. And I think my brother, who is the CEO and co-founder, Igor, he knew somebody from his previous job. So
Okay.
it makes things easier when you know somebody there.
So he had a contact within
Yes.
Apple.
Yes.
If you're a startup and you would like to get Apple's attention, what would you recommend people to do?
I think, be it Apple or Google, they're being very proactive and very helpful, especially these days. And companies like ours, they help them and they kind of make their devices better. So it's fairly easy right now to kind of find who's responsible in this area, or let's say from editorial side or from developer relations side. And it's pretty easy if you connect it. Like ask around, a couple of people will definitely know people from Apple or Google or other companies who are kind of in charge of this.
Okay, let me just turn that a little bit around. Now, you were talking to Apple early. You said that they came up to you because they approached you guys because they didn't have what you have in their own product set. Now, they've been doing like increasingly more and more software themselves.
Yep.
Does that worry you guys at all?
Well, for those who don't know, like you might not have heard about Readdle before, but we have a portfolio of 8 productivity apps that many of you hopefully used, like email called Spark, the Scanner Pro to scan documents, the app called Documents, which is a file manager. So Apple moved in with iOS 11 last year. They make a big move into productivity.
Yeah.
Doing Files app,
Right.
doing scanning, doing PDF, which is
PDF editing and everything.
yeah, which is very similar to what we do. The way we look at this, if our work can inspire one of the biggest companies to move into this area, we're doing something right, but we have to be very fast and like move and run faster because there is no way you can compete with giants like Apple, Google, and Microsoft.
In the course, though, before they did all that, though, did they ever try to acquire you guys?
I'm not allowed to talk about this.
You're not allowed to talk about it because...
Because like, we don't comment on this. I mean, we've had different offers from different partners, but we never discuss and disclose publicly either these talks or our revenues, because we are still private.
Okay, so but you have been approached. You can't say whether by Apple or anyone else.
Like through our lifetime?
Yes.
For acquisition?
Yeah.
There were some talks.
Okay.
But
there were some talks.
I mean, over the course of from investment perspective, from acquisition perspective.
Yeah.
A couple of times.
We'll get back to investment in a second. So with Apple. Do you still have conversations with them, or was that really an early days thing, or do you keep it all up with them now?
Conversations about
app development,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
happy placement.
Each category player talks to the, and we managed to survive like for 10 years from very early on, build great products, have like tens of millions of active users on our platforms and who are using our products. And of course, we will support the newest developments. For example, if Apple launches new iPad recently, right, with the new Pencil, we would support this new technology on day one.
Right.
If it's a new Apple Watch, we want to be there on day one, and we want mostly like this. We're doing this for our users because of our users. We want to give them this latest technology.
Yeah. Okay. Now you mentioned you don't really comment on whether who might have tried to acquire you, or if anyone has ever tried to, et cetera. What's quite interesting is that you are completely bootstrapped.
Yes.
You have never raised outside funding, which is pretty significant for a startup that's gotten to 100 million downloads. To be able to have done quite all of that without growth funding. But when we talked in September, you told me that you guys might start looking for funding. Tell us about that.
So we were lucky enough to have a very first product to be a hit product, and we were making money from there early on. Of course, we failed many times and learned a lot. And we believe that you are better off as an entrepreneur when you can make money.
Yeah.
When you raise money and you can spend money, I can spend money. Like everybody can spend money.
Let me ask a question. How many startups are out here? Can you guys raise your hands if you're in a startup? Raise your hands if you're in a startup. Raise your hands up high. Okay. Keep your hand up if you are bootstrapped. Keep your hand up if you're bootstrapped. Well done, guys.
Hands.
Good job.
Good job, guys.
Okay. So you want to listen to this. This guy's never raised any money. None. 100 million downloads.
So, and I believe that you are better off as an entrepreneur to create your skill how to make money. And that creates a different culture inside because you are focused on your customer, and it's like a perfect creation of value when you create something that people can use, users can use. Users are paying money.
Yeah.
And people are okay paying money for things that work for them.
Yep.
But you have to be vocal enough to educate and to reach out to those people who might use your product. So now we're at this stage where we now trying to accomplish a much bigger challenge than ever before.
Which is what?
Which is reinventing email.
Reinventing email.
Yes.
And that's why you need to raise money.
I'm not saying we need to, I'm saying we might raise money next year.
Right.
To scale faster. And to launch in different platforms and to kind of global expansion. And
but
that's
why do you need
options.
to do that with outside funding? Why can't you do that the way you've done everything else up to now?
We've been doing this ourselves for now more than 3 years.
Yeah.
And
Spark is like a 3-year-old product.
I think it's 4-year-old.
Okay, right.
So also one of the things about being bootstrapped is that if your vision is that you might need a couple of years for this development, right, or your product, you can do it. You don't have pressure from somebody saying you have 1 year. If you don't launch, we shut you down.
Yeah.
So with Spark, we've been investing ourselves and reinvesting, building this product. But once we launched Spark for Teams, and now once we launch this, we'll see this great product market fit. We might want to scale up our operations faster, scale up our sales and marketing, and also different platforms.
Yeah.
And even maybe go kind of web, which requires a lot of investment. So that's one of the options for us. Okay.
So it's quite interesting. I know you guys have been pushing Spark quite a lot. What is your biggest app right now? Is it the PDF?
Are we talking about revenue or users?
Okay, let's say first revenue. Which is your biggest app for revenue?
That's PDF Expert.
PDF Expert, yeah. That's the one that I think most people will know you for.
I think most people will know Scanner Pro.
Okay.
And Documents app, because that's the most popular in terms of the numbers.
Okay, so which one? Scanner Pro is the most popular?
Documents. Yeah, for Documents, this year alone, we've added 15 million users organically.
50 million?
15, 15.
15,
yeah,
okay.
All organically.
Amazing. It's amazing. What's amazing to me is that it's happening at the same time that all the native platforms are really beefing up their own stuff, you know?
Yes, that's interesting.
So why do you think that is? Why do you think people are flocking to an independent at a time when the native versions are just getting, if anything, better and better?
So I have a good story. Back then, when we launched our PDF expert back in the day. We were the first one to launch this PDF editing for iPad. In 2 years' time, or 1 year time, Adobe launched its version of a free PDF reader.
Yeah.
And I've got emails like, Dennis, you're out of business because there is this free app.
Yeah.
You're gone. Go away. What happened in reality, our sales increased almost 50%. I think what happens is that once like the big platform or a player educates a market, educates people that you can do this stuff on your mobile or iPad or Mac, some of them might want something more like advanced, more professional, let's say with a different user experience or much faster. So, and I think that's where we come in, because we do perfect our designs. We do like parallel design with 7 designers and like trying to really nail the experience. And that's what people kind of, that's what they love, and that's why they get the apps.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, I think that we've seen that repeated across a ton of different apps, you know, where the native platform does it, and yet there's still going to be a third party that just
like 1Password, right?
Yeah.
Or Clean My Mac.
Yeah.
All those apps.
Yeah, Slack.
And Slack.
Yeah, you know, there's a bunch. Dropbox. So, you know, with your kind of gradual expansion of apps, I want to go back to Spark for 1 second. So now that's 4 years old. Would you say it's a success now, or is it still needing more time? You guys are talking about investing money into it. You're really, really putting a lot into Spark. Would you say it's a success, or is there a point at which you'll say, you know what?
It's not yet.
We've tried and we've not.
It's not yet.
It's not yet. When are you going to call time on Spark?
We will make it a success.
You'll make it a
no
success. You're really, really, really committed.
We're really, really, really committed to make it a success.
Why are you so focused on email? Like, why do you think it has to be something you win?
Another story. Back in 2014, we had all our apps in top charts were making great amount of money.
Yeah.
It could be like a great lifestyle business. But then we thought, let's solve a much bigger problem. Let's try to fix something. And Alex, our co-founder, runs into the room and says, guys, I know, we can fix email. We're like, mm-mm. So he convinced us, and then we really believed in this. I took Alex, we flew to Silicon Valley, and then we talked to 80 people there, trying to figure out what's the problem with email.
What kind of people?
VC, everybody's like in tech space.
Wait, did you try to raise money already?
No, getting feedback.
Okay.
Yes. So
that's called soft marketing.
Everybody was like, yeah, good luck, guys. You're trying to sell email? Good luck.
Yeah.
So right now for Spark, we do have more than 500,000 daily active users.
Yeah.
And now we're pushing hard into Teams. And we believe that we can help people to save time.
Like a common inbox thing.
Yes. If we save 1 hour per day for each person, I will be happy, and that will be a success, and that will translate into the financial results.
Okay, because you're doing it as a paid product, right?
Spark is free.
But are you going to launch it as paid?
So the Teams, it's like we kind of adopted the Slack model.
Right.
So it's free to use. As you started using it, once you tried it, you kind of go back to normal email, and then there is like Spark Premium for Teams, and the Teams will upgrade to kind of ongoing subscription.
Is going to or is already?
It's live now.
Okay, yeah, I thought
but we're adding a lot of
pretty recent launch.
Yes.
So how has that been doing so far?
I think we have thousands of teams.
Right.
But only like tens and hundreds are paying.
Right.
So we're still figuring out the exact product market fit.
Right.
And I feel we're like 1% away from kind of hitting this inclination point.
I got it. Okay, well, let me just put it this way now. You've given us a really interesting picture of like how it's taken 4 years. You still don't call it a success, but you're not giving up on it yet. You've had 32 things you've called time on, 32 different apps. Tell me how, and tell entrepreneurs here, how you decide when something is finished, that it's just not going to work. When do you decide? Flip a coin?
I think you can look at different data. You can look at different kind of points and like what's happening. Are we like, is this a success? Is this not? But I think
is it just when you see it stop growing, or?
I think for the majority of entrepreneurs, it's just the feeling inside when you kind of stop believing in
it's like a relationship.
And then if you kind of tell yourself like, I'm done.
Yeah.
This isn't working out. Then that's the end of it. Otherwise, if you believe in something, you will, with iterations, you will pivot to something else.
Stay with it. You
And
think you should stay
yes,
with it if you believe
yes.
in it.
If you believe in this, if you feel that you
Yeah.
can solve this problem, stay and solve this problem. Your job as an entrepreneur, your duty, is to kind of fund your vision,
Yeah.
get a team, and solve that problem if you really want it.
Okay, now I asked you what your biggest selling and what your most revenue generating apps are, and you've
Yep.
told me 2 different apps,
Yeah.
which is a relief. Do you think that you guys have managed to escape Angry Bird syndrome? Do you know what I mean by that?
Which is they
It's
failed
like-
50 times and then they had just one hit.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, we don't have one hit.
You knew what Angry Bird syndrome is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have one hit.
Yeah.
All our 4 or 5 of our apps are in top charts on
Yeah.
the App Store worldwide.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have this we managed to figure out how to build successful products that people love and people use. And I'm not saying like each one of them like is a huge and massive success, but I think we managed to grow past this syndrome.
Right. You've broken out of that rut.
Hopefully, I mean, Angry Birds was a great game, and
I mean, you know,
the
they're
scale
still
of Angry
doing
Birds is
well.
still bigger
I mean,
than
yeah,
us, and-
exactly.
yeah.
I mean, you can't fault what that success is, but I know it's been a difficult climb for them as a startup to, or even as a post-startup, as a public company now, to go beyond that. I mean, what would your advice be for, avoiding that?
I mean, for the beginning, I think if people in the room, and including myself, can build something a scale of Angry Birds,
Yeah.
that is
That's
pretty
success
phenomenal.
enough. Yeah, good
that's
enough.
success
Yeah,
enough.
very, very true. Okay, now I want to ask you one last thing before we run out of time. Now, you guys are based out of Ukraine.
We are actually we have people in 8 locations worldwide,
Yeah.
but the headquarters are in Ukraine. Yes.
Yeah, which is amazing. To build a big, successful startup not in the Valley, I always think is very commendable. To scale it, commendable. Ukraine is going through, shit's going down in Ukraine. So how is that affecting you guys?
We're trying to not comment on political issues as well.
Okay.
But right now, we are not affected as a company, as a business. I mean, I think the perception from outside might be affected of what's going on and
Well, it's a
affect
state of
as a
martial law,
business.
so you have to wonder how they're going to play around with all of their regulations and rules when you're in a state of martial law.
It's a state of martial law, but it's like our daily life and our business life did not change.
Okay.
And I hope this will kind of pass away and we can still kind of be focused on building great company and great business.
Okay. Do you have a plan B if it does start to affect the company?
Yeah.
What is it?
Depends on what happens.
Right.
But we have to think, it's interesting, when you're in a country that is under martial law, you have to think about plan B and plan C.
Okay.
So
yeah.
the most valuable resource that we've gathered throughout this 10 years, it's not even like those 100 million downloads. It's not even like the revenue. It's our team and those people who
Yeah.
we now have a team of 140 people.
Yeah.
So that's the most valuable resource. And if something happens, I think nothing will happen, everything will be fine. But of course,
Yeah.
we will do everything to protect and manage to protect our people.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
But
we do
yeah.
have a Berlin office.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yes.
So they can all immigrate. But so now you've got the plan B for your employees, or C or whatever. But what about for your users? So when you've got a state of martial law, presumably that's going to be impacting all kinds of things. How do you ensure, and has there been a situation yet where you would say that your users' data or anything like that has been potentially impacted?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you reassure people that whatever is going on between Ukraine and Russia, which has pretty bad record for this sort of stuff, that their information is secure, safe, private, and not touched by whoever?
We do believe that we're on board with Apple about this, that the privacy is the most fundamental and the most important things.
So where is the information located now?
So we don't have, only Spark has bits of information. All the other apps, it's just like you install Scanner Pro and it uses iCloud.
Right,
That's
no
Apple.
data. Yeah, but Spark is your email.
We don't have any data. With Spark, We're trying to minimize the amount of data that we have to kind of to run the service. Otherwise, you can run the service.
Right.
But that's we're using kind of encrypted Google Cloud and Amazon. So it's nothing to do with
In which countries
Ukraine.
are those servers?
Oh, I think it's Germany and US.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're all safe.
So right now it's fine.
Nothing
and
impacts our business and our users.
Okay, that's wonderful. Dennis, you're brilliant for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you,
luck
guys.
with whatever the next step
Thank
is.
you. Thank you, guys.
Dennis Zhadanov.
Thank you.